Hey, it's Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com, also representing B2 Audio, B2 Audio USA. It could never be too loud, and we got something special that's going to be here for Black Friday 2025. We have grown the Rage line.
How big?
Yes. Now we have a 7800, which is 7800 watts at 1 ohm. And this amp, as of right now in September, should be $699.95. Why do I say should be? We don't know what's going to happen with tariffs and things by the time this ships out in November. But we're planning to keep this at the $700 price point, which is really cool because this is a Class D full range amp, just like the 4800, 35, and the 1200.4, which we have sold a lot and people are loving them. Before I even go any further, hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. And if you're watching this on other social media, please follow and leave comments. This is what we do it for. So I actually have one here. There's going to be slight few changes. So in the video, and I'm upfront with everybody, I was planning to take this apart, and the board on the actual ones coming is a little different. So we're going to actually put up a picture of that, but you'll still get to see the guts. Also, the one coming in November is going to be a little bit longer than this, and there was multiple reasons. Why? Well, everything we get, we test first and we make our changes before it gets here, and that's why B2 Audio is known for the quality.
That's the best.
So the actual dimensions of the unit shipping will be 22.4 by 6.3 and only a height of 2.52. Yeah, so basically 23 by 6 by 3. So a little bit longer than this, okay? The models will have dual 0 gauge inputs. This is a rated 600 amp external fusing, right? So they're saying use a 500, or if you put a 500 on each one or a 300 on each one, you're gonna be doing real good. If you're trying to match up some lithium power, I don't care if it's LTO, LiPo, whatever you use, they're recommending 105 amp per hour for this amp. What does that mean? You're not going to install this amp on a factory battery, AGM, or regular acid, and with a 80 or 100 amp alternator. You're putting in something this big that gets you over 7,000, 8,000 watts. I do recommend a MechMan alternator, which we have, and or some battery power. Now, do you need 105 amps? No, that's just recommended that they're doing over there. If you want the Big Jeff batteries, which we run in our Yukon with like 30,000 watts, you'd be good with 2 of those or even 3 in your system to run this and whatever else. The ratings of 78 to 8,000 at 1 ohm was rated at the factory at 14.4 volts, 1% THD. Now, I will be doing dyno testing here like I always do. When? Not on this model, but on the models when they get here in November. So we're just doing an unboxing now. We will do a re-unboxing and dyno after Black Friday. We will possibly put these up that month with pre-order like we always do at a discounted rate because they move fast. So Class D full range, 10 hertz to 12.5 kilohertz. Yes, full range. What is some of the pluses here? Well, Tiffany style, and all the potentiometers are clickable. Why is that important? Well, you can actually set this without a meter by counting the clicks for frequency and or gain. Do I recommend doing that for the gain? No. You need to use a multimeter or one of Steve Mead's awesome distortion checkers. This also comes with a bass knob that will tell you voltage and also clipping and I think temperature. You have a monoblock dual here, which you could get in there. Oh, really thick 12 gauge or small 8 gauge, but you have 2 so you can run it separate. You have a Protect clip and power light and remote turn on. This amp is a beast. That's why it has 4 fans. Yes, keep this thing cool. And if you watched any of my prior videos.
We did.
How does B2 Audio make something this small but handle the heat and the power? Well, the actual die cast, this right here, this metal, is almost 30% thicker than most amplifiers. And what it allows us to do is go down this way, and then the PCB board is like a sandwich. So basically MOSFETs are in the sandwich and all the guts are on the top part, which allows enough to create 7,000, 8,000.
Interesting.
How do I know this works? Well, beginning of 25, released the 4800 and 3500 with 0 returns so far, and just awesome feedback that these things make power and they handle normal heat. We stepped it up on this model with the 4 fans on top of it. So let's throw up a picture of what the guts look like right now. Okay, as you can see, you see the B2 Audio branding, the famous red board. You see the coils, the capacitors, and I will have Ben pop up some numbers of the actual products in there. Okay, back to me. I will do a full unboxing. I don't want to take this one apart because I'd be showing you the wrong thing. This model works, but during testing, we wanted to make it better and still keep it in that $700 price range to give you an 8,000 watt full range monoblock with all these features. This is a really cool model. You got to get yourself one. What can this run? I don't know, 8,000 watts is a lot. You can run a lot with this. Now, I'm looking at a bass EQ, level EQ, gain, high pass, and low pass. That is probably the only thing I don't like. Love B2 audio, but I always hate that without an actual crossover of low pass and high pass. And then a frequency. The way this works is you have a high pass, and let me turn on the Big Jeff cam.
Big Jeff cam activated.
If you are for some reason running 8,000 watts to mids and highs, you would use the high pass. If you're running subwoofers, you low pass. Basically what you do, you would turn the high pass all the way down, and then you would gain a low pass, and vice versa, to get either your crossover settings for lows or highs. As you see, oversized 0 gauge power and ground, and you have your monoblock speaker outputs. Okay, we use a Cat 5 remote and your Tiffany style. Look how small this thing is. I'm going to give you an idea. The model coming is going to be 22.4. So this is about 19 3/4. So 22.4 means that the model coming is just going to be that much longer. Just that. Everything else can be the same. Why do we do that? Well, in here, the actual coils are standing up, and we don't like that. We wanted them sitting down. Sitting down meaning we need a longer board. Makes sense, right? Why don't I want the coil standing up? Well, vibration and other reasons. Much better to have that coil sitting flat and glued in. That is why we're getting an extra 3 inches on the models coming in. We noticed that when we looked at the prototype and said, this works, it does its power, it stays cool. But for longevity and the B2 audio name, we need to do it a little better. So of course we had to redesign the PCB board to be longer, also the chassis of the amplifier, but to bring you superb, excellent product. Hey, I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com, also B2 Audio USA, and here's an unboxing. Watch out for this because we will do this over again with a dyno testing in November of 2025. And if you want something like this and we get the pre-order up, normally we knock it down 10%. Well, that's almost $70 off, okay? Make sure you jump on that. These things will move fast like the rest of the Rage amps. Love how everything comes out of the bottom. It's a beautiful thing. So yes, here we go with the RAGE-7800 from B2 Audio. Will be available November 2025. Hey, thank you for checking in. Hit that like button, subscribe, follow, all that. Show some support. Leave a comment, good or bad. Trolls even, thank you. Help my metrics. But we've had a lot of love lately, and that's all from you. Thank you. And we're going to keep doing this. So I'm wrapping up this video till November, and I can't wait to do it again, take it apart, and throw it on that expensive dyno over there and show you what the certified, uncertified, and dynamic numbers are. I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com, signing off.